Hello, welcome to Liminal Writing. We've been on a bit of a break for a while.
Hiatus because of priorities and work schedules, time zone differences. So we miss doing this. We miss these sessions that we have with each other, and
Yes,
hopefully we get to pick back up with you, the listeners, again.
yes. So thank you for whoever's listening. And here we go again with Liminal Writing, where we give each other that space to write freely for 10 minutes based on
Mm-hmm.
a trigger line or
Yeah.
trigger phrase. And we read it back to you. So this time we're looking back at an old piece that we had written way back in 2021,
Yeah.
which
In
we,
the middle
yeah,
of the pandemic year.
pandemic, yes.
Yeah.
And we kind of keep these things on archive until we then decided to do the podcast, this
Mm.
podcast that you're listening to. And we're looking at the old pieces again, not having looked at them since then. So
Yeah.
it's we're seeing it with fresh eyes again. So
Yeah.
let's do this.
All
Plunge.
right.
Who goes first?
Why
Me.
don't you go
You?
first? Yeah.
Me?
Go.
Okay.
Go, go, go.
I go first. All right. So the trigger line was what I hear when I listen to my inner voice.
Mm.
Sometimes I don't want to hear it. And I put a haha there. It scares me. But now I will try to let my inner voice go straight to my keyboard. I will try not to
Mm.
think, no policing of thoughts.
Mm.
What my inner voice really wants to say is that I am thankful, grateful for life and what it has brought me, the pains and the laughter and the things I can't remember and that which I do remember about things. Yesterday, Homie died. She was my first furry baby. She was my cat. I warmed her with my body when she was tiny. It was a seemingly ordinary weekend in Bangkok 10 years ago when we decided to go to the Chatuchak weekend market. On the way there, Uyi, my son, and I played with the idea of getting a pet cat. We took the underground train to Chatuchak Market. As we climbed up the steps that would bring us to one of the weekend market's entrances, there was a pop-up stall with cages of rescued cats. Fate had decided for me. She was a few months old then. From a furry brown kitten, she became dark gray with a patch of white on her chest and on her paws, like she was wearing socks. She was the sweetest little thing. I let her sleep with me in bed, and she would try and find the nooks and crannies of my body that perhaps gave her warmth. Sometimes it would be behind my leg, sometimes in the crook of my arm, or in that space between my neck and my shoulder. She also liked to sit beside my laptop while I worked, or on the keyboard when I turn away, and she found the opportunity to take over. That's it. That's where it took me.
All right. Here's mine.
Go ahead.
What I hear when I listen to my inner voice. I am not too sure what I hear when I listen to that voice. The one that starts from the smallest particle of who I am, from the blood cells to the muscle fiber to the proteins in my bones. It comes from layers of growing, pruning, harvesting. The voice that says, yes, you can do it. Yes, you are worthy. Yes, be all that. And it also says, are you sure you can climb that height? Are you sure you have what it takes to lead? Why will people listen to you? At times, I listen to both these voices strain at me. It sometimes feels like I'm in a hammock, swaying to the edge of both these voices, cocooned in the moment of no action being taken, no voice being followed, just in suspension, swinging, waiting, breathing. It's like,
It's so poetic. Oh my. You got to a very different space.
yeah.
I think.
So my
I think
question
I was
first,
grieving at the time because I said in the line yesterday she had died, my cat. So
yeah,
was what was my inner voice because I was in grief.
yeah,
I wanted to remember, yeah, the nice warm memories.
mhm,
But
yeah.
yeah,
Because that was my question to you, like, what took you from that phrase
ah,
to where you
yeah, yeah.
wrote about homie?
Well, because this happened, she had died in the Philippines,
Yeah.
under the care of my son
Oh,
and his wife and mother-in-law.
yeah.
So it was hard to kind of make myself feel it because the distance, it's
Mm,
just like to you, it's not real. It's
yeah.
not real, but there's that sense of it's, and it was easier to push it away and not feel. But when
Yeah.
I started writing this, that's what came out. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
so it was a good way to
Mhm.
help me process actually having
Yeah.
written. How about you? What brought you to that?
Yeah. It's that thinking of the inner voice can both prod us to pursue good thoughts, good deeds, but it's also can be overwhelming as a voice that questions our own capabilities, right?
Yeah.
And it can be sometimes critical. It can make snide remarks
Mhm.
at times. So the way that I'm also trying to temper it
That
is to have that voice, like look at the possibilities, the opportunities, and not to forget the celebrations of what I've done or what others have done. Right? So
yeah. Do you
it's that
find
that's
yourself,
why
yeah, do you find that inner voice to be critical more of the time, or are you able to temper it pretty much? What do you think? Do you think?
I don't know.
Mm.
I'm thinking that I get to that voice, the critical voice comes out mostly at work, like for business, right? So there's a lot of like questioning of, what can you do? And I think
And that's a
because
strength
we're
too, right?
we're trained that way to always look at scenarios in business, right? So there's not just there may be one plan, but you always build out of this. If this happens, what's the next step? Right? It's easier to be laissez-faire if it's not business, right? If it's kind of like you're chill. But even in the personal side, in the
Does it
personal
carry
life,
over? Yeah.
yeah, sometimes like really, why do you want to do that? Which is, so yeah, but I found out that the energy spent on trying to temper this voice is almost equal to the energy that you need to put to just think about like good thoughts and good deeds, right? So I think no matter in what decade, like even as we approach our 60s, the more that we are having that kind of voice, which is championing, celebrating. I'm not saying that we should remove that thinking to do scenario thinking so that we're prepared for anything, but just to also be present in if it's a good thing, then celebrate that it's a good thing, right? Let's not saying
Yeah.
that I should have done it better, right? So, but look at how far you've gone and what you've been able to
Mm.
accomplish at that point.
The image that came to my mind is the critic and the celebrator.
Yeah,
There's such a word.
yeah,
The
yeah,
one who celebrates and the one who critiques.
yeah,
So both have a place, but
yeah.
maybe as you said, as we grow older too, there's
Uh-huh.
yeah, give more space for that. The one who celebrates.
Yeah. The fun part of it is sometimes I picture that critical voice in my head to those two Muppets, the two old men Muppets. They're always at the top of the balcony of the theater,
Yes,
right?
yes, yes.
And they always like heckle. So I'm like, try to lighten it up. That's how I imagine it. Like,
That's a good image because then it makes it funny. It makes it
yeah.
light, and yeah, you're right. It lightens it, puts humor into it.
Yeah.
Don't take yourself too seriously.
Yeah.
Nice.
Remember that we're always striving to do good and be good.
All right.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Sass. That was a good
Thank
one.
you. Good to be back.
Yeah.
All right. Till the
All
next
right. Till
Liminal
the next
Writing.
one. Bye, folks.